Greetings, ladies and gents. So today I'm going to talk about a topic that is a direct sequel to the last film that we covered just a few days ago, since we talked about peritraumatic dissociation in our last get-together here on the video. And today I'll bring you the subject of brain fog. Brain fog is a condition that may be difficult to understand for those who have never experienced it. However, those of us who have survived extreme trauma, extreme adversity, extreme shocks in our lives very often are left with debilitating brain fog. And brain fog is that feeling of finding yourself in a state of hazy, foggy, loss of focus and concentration, increased fatigue, difficulty completing tasks, all of a sudden, even difficulty finding your words, your memory seems to be out, you float in and out of clarity, and sometimes completely lose clarity. To me, brain fog compares to the feeling we can get if you've ever experienced being in a vehicle, maybe in a mountain trip, that the windows of which are completely covered in opaque fog. You cannot see anywhere around you. So of course, attempting to drive or operate a vehicle in these conditions would be extremely hazardous and also creates anxiety and fear because you're unable to see clearly around you. It's obviously a very dangerous condition to move into. And so when we experience brain fog, it's very often very similar to that sensation of being in a vehicle from which you cannot see outside. It's completely hazy and foggy. So I'm going to today to talk about brain fog, what it is, where it comes from, 5 main causes of brain fog, and then I will give you 5 main action steps, lifestyle changes that can give you rapid and lasting relief of brain fog. So of course, brain fog can be related to a medical condition. So as always, please talk about this condition if you feel you experience it with your licensed physician, your doctor, your medical care provider, as you and your medical team will be able to find or at least investigate the cause for brain fog. So number 1 cause most often seen for brain fog is stress, trauma, adversity, and shock. And we've covered the physiological reasons on this channel here why stress and being faced with extreme adversity, life threat, conditions that shock you, prompts your body to go into the high inflammatory state that it goes when we enter the fight or flight mode, where the adrenals are producing extreme response with inflammatory or hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which initially they're intended to be anti-inflammatory to help us spontaneously jump into an escape mechanism. But unfortunately, when the shock, the trauma, the fear is sustained and becomes chronic, these states become highly inflammatory. So hormones like cortisol and adrenaline in the long run creates an inflammatory state that debilitates our immune system, leads to depression, anxiety, mental and physical fatigue, restlessness, poor quality of sleep. Our brain becomes exhausted and noticeably malfunctioning. Adrenal depletion, which is often a result of sustained stress, also causes chronic inflammation and leads to brain fog and mental fatigue. And of course, that state of peritraumatic dissociation we discussed last time immediately puts you in an out-of-body, so to speak, disconnected experience, which leads to severe cognitive dysfunction. And number 2 main reason for brain fog is lack of sleep. Again, as we covered, poor quality of sleep, poor quantity of sleep will lead to severe loss in mental functioning, cloudy thoughts, loss of concentration, definite cognitive impairment. So we need to aim as much as we possibly can for 8 and even 9 hours of sleep at night, especially when we're trying to recover from trauma, recover from sustained chronic stress. That's when we're going to need the maximum amount of sleep and the deepest quality of sleep. So refer to my previous videos on that topic. Maximum quality and quantity of sleep means sleeping uninterrupted in complete darkness, free of flashing lights and sounds, and giving your brain that maximum quantity and quality of time to repair itself and recover. A third cause for brain fog can be hormonal or thyroid imbalances, hypothyroidism, and changes in progesterone and estrogen can also trigger brain fog, affecting memory, increasing and causing cognitive impairment. The increase in progesterone and estrogen during pregnancy can create brain fog, and opposite to that, the drop in estrogen at menopause can also prompt memory, concentration, and mental clarity malfunctions. So these are all things you can discuss with your mental and physical, your MD, your doctor, mental health provider, but especially with hormone and thyroid, you're going to want to talk to a nutritionist and your primary care physician and maybe holistic physicians as well. Now, the fourth cause of brain fog is poor hydration and poor nutrition. So we also covered that in the past videos. The brain needs a constant and steady source of proper fuel delivery and stimulation, oxygen, glucose, and hydration. Proper water hydration rapidly restores brain functioning, and opposite to that, dehydration rapidly drops mental functioning. So keep that in mind. Keep your brain hydrated. Nutrition, of course, also plays an important role in proper brain functioning. Vitamin B12 especially enhances brain function, and B12 deficiency, of course, can lead to brain fog. Nutritional deficiencies, especially in micronutrients, minerals, trace minerals, vitamins, and amino acids, will also lead to brain fog. And some products are known to be toxic for the body, even though they're sold and distributed in mass market arenas, and also cause brain malfunction and brain fog. Dairy products, while they're good when we're children because they help our body and our bones grow, as adults, they create high inflammation. They also create a pH in the body that's favorable for growth in general. So dairy products should be avoided if you're trying to clarify your brain and recover brain clarity. MSG, of course, highly toxic, as well as artificial sweeteners. So we're talking about aspartame, NutraSweet, sucralose, and the list is long, are all highly toxic and very dangerous. They've been linked not only to cancer, but also depression, irritability, migraine. They are neurotoxic on our brain cells. They create neurotoxic consequences and effects on our brain cell. They basically block the transports of amino acids to the brain, preventing the production of dopamine and serotonin, which both fuel our ability to feel happy, engaged, interested in life, as well as our attention, motivation, joy, pleasure, and overall physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Heavy metals, also highly toxic. So heavy metals, we are talking about mercury, aluminum, lead. They all cause brain fog. They're potent neurotoxins that persist and resist in our bodies after they've been assimilated. All found in sodas, vaccines, certain types of vaccines, antiperspirant. Some of our fish supply, very sadly, while we need fish for omega support, A lot of our fish supplies have now been found heavy in mercury, especially farm-raised salmon, for instance. Dental amalgam, of course, we knew that in France back in my childhood already. All dentists were removing silver fillings because they knew already that that created a heavy toxicity in the body with mercury. And other products like hair color. Peanuts, interestingly, have been found to create brain fog, and also grains. We know about celiac disease and grain intolerances. So that's something you can discuss with your holistic physician or nutritionist. Now, medications, your fifth cause, and medical conditions can often create brain fog. If you're on medications, prescription medications, or taking supplements, talk to your doctor to determine if those medications or supplements can be the cause of the brain fog you are experiencing. Cancer treatment and chemotherapy are known to create brain fog. Medical conditions also associated with inflammation, chronic fatigue, changes in blood glucose, blood sugar levels can cause mental fatigue and brain fog, fibromyalgia and anemia, chronic fatigue syndrome, diabetes, of course, with the blood sugar fluctuation, depression, Alzheimer, migraines, and autoimmune diseases such as lupus, arthritis, and multiple sclerosis. Another cause of brain fog can be gut infection, leaky, what we call today leaky gut, and sensitivity to grains, parasites, yeast overgrowth, candida, small intestinal bacterial infection, or also known as SIBO. All of those inflammations in the body and brain are known to be a potent cause for brain fog. So work with your licensed medical doctor, with that, nutritionist and holistic physicians, to investigate why you're feeling the brain fog that you are experiencing and how to find the proper culprit. Now, I will give you 5 very simple, rapid, and lasting lifestyle changes that rapidly eliminate brain fog. The number 1, of course, is sleeping 8 to 9 hours at night to give your brain the maximum space to rebuild, repair. We've covered this. I speak about this continuously. High quality sleep is one of the best ways to enhance your health, physical, mental, emotional, and cognitive functioning. Lack of sleep also will affect your health negatively, of course, and can lead to serious medical conditions, infections, immune system deficiency, and neurodegenerative diseases. Now, number 2 is something that worked so rapidly for me and still does. Exercise, moving your body. Mens sana in corpore sano in Latin. I love that phrase. It's one of my mottos in life. A healthy brain, a healthy mind, and a healthy body. So one of the ways that in the past year, as I was being hit by so much fear, threat on my life and safety, and found myself in a state of complete paralysis, one of the things that immediately provided incredible difference in my mental clarity was to throw myself in a cold swimming pool early in the morning and engage in 60 to 70 minutes, or sometimes even 75 minutes of lap swimming. The combination of moving your body in cold water is extraordinarily therapeutic. It made an immediate difference. Physical activity will help the blood flow circulate better in your body, including in your brain. It promotes the production of new brain cells. It will lower your stress levels and your anxiety and the related hormones, and magnificently enhances your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. I still continue every morning now with my swim training partner. We throw ourselves, and it's not easy to get up at 5 a.m. and go throw yourself in an icy cold swimming pool outdoors, which is why we're turning very brown actually, because even though there's no sun at 6 a.m., swimming outdoors for an hour, it does create that good light exposure in your body, and will put you in phenomenal shape physically, mentally, and emotionally. So again, talk to your doctor about this. Make sure there's no contraindications for you. But there's also forest medicine. We spoke about that earlier in my videos. Exposing yourself to nature, moving your body in nature, the silence and peace, the serenity of nature, breathing in the phyton seed that are released by the trees, especially the cypress trees, will do wonders in clarifying your mind, lowering stress and anxiety, improving your cognitive abilities, restoring your problem-solving abilities, and giving you options and clarity that you had not accessed before. It's called the nature's cure, basically. Number 3, hydration. Of course, all the causes, we find the counteractions. Keeping your brain hydrated, drinking water will do marvels to restore your brain quality and clarity. And of course, the opposite is true. The nemesis of hydration is dehydration. So avoiding alcohol, limiting your caffeine intake. Caffeine is good in small amounts, but alcohol has a direct dehydration impact on your brain, causing loss of cognitive functioning, brain damage, loss of quality, brain fog. Also, that dehydration will affect your body as well. Number 4 is nutrition. So of course, nutrition plays an essential part in the health of our brain. Proteins, fruit, vegetables, healthy fat, a diet rich in dark vegetables, fruits, and antioxidants enhances the functioning of our brain, avoiding toxins, heavy metals, and everything that's artificial. Junk food in general, drugs and alcohols are best being avoided, as well as medications that are not essential. We tend in our society to be over-medicated. We have a symptom, immediately we take a prescription, rather than investigating what is the cause of that symptoms and naturally finding remedies first before embarking on the highly toxic, over-medicated lifestyle. Number 5, stress release. So of course, that can take a lot of different approaches. Exercising, of course, is a phenomenal, as I just spoke about it, stress release. There are also other techniques. Mindfulness, biofeedback with your trauma center will help you explore that. Breathing, especially diaphragmatic breathing, breathing with your belly, making use of the oxygen, flooding your brain with oxygen will restore magnificent clarity to your mind. Being present in activities that you enjoy, social interaction. So we found that out since last year, training with my teammate, ski training, swim training, hiking. And this is for me emerging from a lifelong tendency of retreating because of trauma into isolation and working out myself. Well, when you engage in activities with teammates and partners, you'll find that not only your motivation increases, you're more likely to stick to it because somebody is waiting for you at 6 a.m. in the pool. So you're going to get out of bed by simple ethics and morals and integrity. And not only that, but once you're training together, there is this beautiful, healthy sort of support. And we find that athletes, for instance, who row together, row faster and stronger. They can tolerate more strenuous effort on their body. Their serotonin levels are increased. They tolerate more pain threshold and they function better. And that's all part of being social creatures as human. And once you find your tribe, you function better with positive environment supporting you. So that goes to a phrase that I heard. One of my students was a very big study of the Game of Thrones show in a counteractive way, actually. And so he got me to study it a little bit. And one of the sentences that stayed in my mind was a beautiful poetic line in one of the last episodes of the series. When the snows fall and the white winds blow, the lone wolf dies and the pack survives. And so I was a bit of a lone wolf all of my life and nearly perished last year due to the attacks on my survival and safety. And in the midst of that transition, like the phoenix burned down to my ashes, I found a tribe, a new pack. And I have to say that life is so much richer and brighter and more beautiful when you're surrounded by truly authentic and positive beings. So there you go, the 5 I believe, ways to exactly to get your brain, I was checking my notes, to get your brains to function better. And if you have questions, one of my dearest friends, oceanographer Pierre Robert de la Tour and friends told me last night, don't forget to ask those around if you have specific conditions, specific limitations. I'm a forensic and clinical hypnotherapist. I'm an instructor with the NGH. I'm also emergency medicine first responder with the Wilderness Medicine Institute. My specialty is to help you learn to work with your brain in better manner so that you can become an athlete, an adversity athlete, an athlete of the mind, survive and thrive through difficulties through your life. So if you are battling in a specific condition that is difficult for you, do comment under the videos, share your questions, and I will do my best to address and respond to them. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. It's always a pleasure to share my findings with all of you. Thank you for your wonderful support, thumbs up, and all the new subscribers on the channel. You warm my heart. Thank you for joining us here. We are a community of thrivers who rise together stronger through adversity and become more than we were before, because that's what adversity gives us, the gift of recreating ourselves. So see you soon on the channel, everybody, and thank you for tuning in.